Hello, welcome back to Eve NTTV, here again at Nottingham, and we have a section here today, well, for this section I should say, with two members of the Council of Stellar Management. Hello boys, and we have here Gorski. Want to introduce yourself to the camera?
Yeah, I'm Gorski Car. I'm mainly low-sec and small gang PvP focused CSM member. And I've been running for CSM 9, 10 and now 11.
Fantastic. So you're a bit of an old hat at this by now.
Yeah, 2 half seasons and then 1 full now. So
that's fantastic.
Barely getting in every time.
Yeah.
But this time you got in first time.
Yeah, proper,
fantastic
proper
stuff.
Season.
And we have Jin'taan here as well. Why don't you introduce yourself to the viewers?
Yeah, no worries. My name's Jin'taan or Jin'taan, and I do most of the administrative work for the CSM. I do a lot of updates and generally sort out some focus groups and things like that when necessary. But my real specializations are with nullsec and large to medium scale fleet warfare, because I'm an FC in the game and that's what I do. This is my first term on the CSM though, not done it before, and it's pretty interesting.
Good stuff. And with me as well is another co-host, Niden. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey everybody, I'm Niden. I'm the editor-in-chief of Crossing Zebras and I play with Snuffbox. Shut up. Got you, didn't we?
So we're now 5 months now into the current CSM term, and you both campaigned long and hard to get onto this one.
Not him.
Cheeky. But what's the CSM mostly about, and how has it been working on the CSM this year so far?
CSM's really just kind of almost what people expect it is. It's talking to devs and bringing concerns to them, them bouncing stuff off of you, and obviously the summits are very much the pinnacle of that, which we just came back from, which was wonderful.
Could we go into that a little bit? Like the summit was just now. Obviously, this summit is quite different from the ones that have been before, considering Alpha Clones coming up. How has
every single member of the CSM was brought up, which has never happened before.
Which has never happened before.
Yeah,
There's never been all 14 members in one physical police before.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
So was there? I suspect there was a large focus on the Alpha Clones this time. Do you feel that those discussions were productive? Do you feel that you as a body were sort of viewing the same things as CCP were, or was there a lot of friction there?
There were stuff to be hashed out on some specific features, but a lot was like agreeing with them, because personally I think Alpha Clones is a great idea, and
right.
We had like a lot of meetings just focused on Alpha Clones and stuff regarding Alpha Clones, and I think that's the reason they brought out all of us, like just bounce.
Because the general feeling from the community so far has been that most people are quite positive about this change, and I suspect it's the same thing with the CSM.
I think everyone agrees on the broad detail, the broad kind of overview that this is a good change. But I think people have a lot of concerns about the details, and that's Eve players. Eve players are very detail oriented.
Concerns about, for example, I think one of the major concerns has been exploits. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, like there's a lot of small areas we can. If you have multiple ults, you can break it. Multiple free ults, I mean. Right.
And do you feel that CCP have that sort of handled? Do they have a realistic idea about addressing exploits and that sort of thing? Was that talked about enough at the summit?
Yeah.
It was definitely talked about.
We talked about ways that both Alpha Clones and certain other things could potentially be exploited. That was a big topic of discussion. I think it took nearly 2 hours to get through. It was very long, but it was very fruitful. I think CCP paid attention to they actually paid attention to pretty much everything we said. It was there was a nice feedback there. We wrapped it up at the end.
Because the Alpha Clones coming up is a big deal, and there's been a lot of feedback through all various forums, isn't there? I mean, like the forums and Reddit and all sorts of places. And you guys have been collecting all that information. Is that fair to say that? And I mean, how much work has that kind of taken to get ready for the summit?
Well, yeah, the Reddit thread is like, I don't know how many thousand comments in that one right now. And
Did you read all of it?
Most of them, especially the downloaded ones.
Well, I was already reading a lot of articles and listening to a lot of podcasts before I was on the CSM, so it hasn't changed a huge amount for me. But you do tend to pay a bit more attention to it. I got to say, I wish I'd known that this was coming out before I went on the CSM, because I would have.
Because if I just may, there was a short period when you guys found out about the alpha clones until it actually came out, do you feel that there was enough time given for the CSM to react to such a big thing happening in EVE?
Well...
Telling silence.
Yeah.
We would have appreciated a couple more days, but I don't know what we could have done to prepare better for the community reaction, because the community reaction was always going to be very big and front-loaded, just because, hey, here's this massive change, everyone starts discussing. You can't really, make a survey or something like that. It doesn't get the same breadth of opinion that you really need. Right. It doesn't get you the same detail of opinion.
I think CCP handled it pretty good with like how they presented the alpha clone versus omega clone. Because it had potential to get some really strong reactions from the community, like people just rage quitting, like Incarna stuff.
It's quite potent stuff, isn't it? Yeah.
And now it's positive, at most positive. So
you've got to hand it to Seagull for being brave enough to just sit there and be like, well, this could, completely backfire and do a second Incarna, but I want to take the game forward in this direction. So
yeah, because literally when the announcement was made, it was a video that was uploaded and said, "Hey, we're doing this," and that was it. Yeah. And we were like, "What?"
And did the devlog not go out at the same time?
Yeah, everything all went out. The video, the devlog all came out at the same time.
Switching gears a little bit, I'd like to reflect about the CSM itself. No drama so far. It seems to be doing a lot better than the previous one did. Do you feel that this is actually the case? Is there a lot of stuff, is it working?
Well, I've been
the way it looks to be working.
I've been to multiple CSMs, so...
How would you compare it?
The CSM Summit was a lot more friendly, put it that way.
Oh yeah?
So it's been working really well so far, and no dramas, like you said, so yet.
Are you simply better than the previous CSM?
Well, that's a loaded question.
I mean, I've been on multiple CSMs, so I'm still better, right? But,
yeah.
I don't think you can tell that people are better than others. It's just it's just less drama. People just go along well together, and most people are new, so they haven't had long histories with each other at the past CSMs. So yeah,
there has been a lot of discussions about the CSM and the way they communicate with the players, and there was some the connection with the players. There was some discussion about that not happening earlier, and then I know there was a podcast picked up, and especially you, Jin, have been working on that a lot. How do you feel that's been working out for you?
It's a very interesting dichotomy in terms of how we communicate with the player base, because there are people who think that we communicate too much, be it unofficially via leaks or actually officially via things like blogs and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's a real topic of contest. I really do feel that people will vote in the way that kind of overall gauges the community's need for information. I think that seeing Bobmon voted on and seeing myself voted on shows that there is some desire to have more communication, but not, we're going to have 12 bloggers be on the CSM, so we know about literally everything that's done ever.
Yeah.
There needs to be some secrecy there for the CSM to actually function as an institution.
Yeah. It must be quite difficult being in your position, because you are constantly having to decide where to draw the line and what you can communicate and what you can't.
Actually, that's kind of done pretty well for us. I will normally talk to Logibro or Guard and say, hey, can I talk about this? Yeah. How does this weekly update look? Is there anything in here we need to redact? So there is a set way to prevent NDA breaches, which is something I don't think was involved around in previous CSMs.
Well, you could always talk to the dev, is it okay if I talk to my people about this specific feature or this? That will works out like, and I don't know. I usually do just poke someone, hey Foss, it's okay if I talk about this feature, and he says, okay, you can talk, or no, you can't talk about it, and that's that.
Yeah. So just to wrap up on this section, if people wanted to find out more about how to get in contact with you for the CSM, what's the best ways of doing that, starting with Jin?
There is a forum thread on the EVO forums in the Assembly Hall section with contact details for all of the current CSM members, and there's also in Jitter Park Speakers Corner, something like that, there is a list of all my updates and weekly attendance and all that sort of thing, if you're interested in finding out just what we're doing.
Yeah, and I don't really read the forums, sorry, but you can mail me in game or just hit me up on Twitter or Reddit, and it's fine.
Reddit.
Yeah, Gorski _ Car.
That's where you live, isn't it?
Yes, that's what I post.
But No, we're really looking forward to the CSM Summit notes that are going to be coming out some point
soon, TM.
Early next week-ish.
Yeah.
I guess they're done when they're done. But we're looking forward to seeing that to get some more information about all the work you guys did last week over in Iceland. But for now, that is the end of this particular section. So we're going to go take a break, after which we'll have some new guests for you. And don't go away.